And one, two, one, two. Finally, we are ready to come back. I'm happy to invite to the stage Arun Saigal from Thunkable, and he will tell us about the power of AI-filled no-code app development. Please welcome him.
Thank you so much. How exciting to be here today at the No Code Summit in Paris. It is my real treat to be able to talk to you today about the power of AI-fueled no-code app development. And the question we ask is, what will you build? So, the power of no-code and the power of AI is something that everyone has been talking about. So today, I hope to tell you about the power of no-code and AI. App creation is no longer the exclusive domain of experienced software developers. Now, all you need is an idea, some basic logic concepts, and the right platform. And the power of no-code is that it lowers the barrier to entry. So now, instead of being an experienced software developer, you can be a no-code engineer, which so many of us are here today. Next, we've seen a lot of replacement of legacy systems with no-code systems. Legacy systems can accumulate technical debt over time, making them expensive, making them challenging to maintain. Replacing them with no-code solutions allows us to have easier long-term maintenance and leaves the heavy lifting and the technical debt problems to the no-code platforms like Thunkable. Which means now you have the flexibility to build and change. Now the user can be the developer, who can be the designer, who can be the product manager, which means that we reduce friction. And it eventually means that the user is empowered to create the solutions for the problems they have. I'm here from San Francisco, and I always joke how we have 10 different food delivery apps, because that's the problem we're trying to solve in San Francisco. Engineers are like, I want more food delivered to my door. But there are so many challenges in the world right now that are going entirely unattended because of the fact that people with those problems don't have the skills to solve them. And by using no-code, we reduce the barrier to entry. We remove the legacy systems. We cut down on processes so there's more efficiency and more streamlined development going on. And in conclusion, no-code allows us to do more with less. Rapid prototyping, fewer resources, scalability, collaboration, integrations, and most importantly, fast time to value, all come from the power of no-code. We all know about no-code, but what about the promise of AI? Everybody for the last few years was talking about no-code. No-code is the future. No-code is the thing. And then in the last year, everyone's saying, oh, AI. This is cool. This is the thing. This is the future. And people are treating AI as if it hasn't ever existed before. AI's been around for quite a while. My graduate degree was in AI, and that was more than a few years ago. And AI is now just starting to still scratch the surface and realize its promise. So why use AI? What's the promise of AI? AI automates routine tasks, right? It helps people who are doing tasks that should be done by machines, let the machines do the work so that they can actually focus on the human aspects. Personalization and customization. AI allows for personalized and customized experiences. We are all individual, unique humans, and our software should treat us uniquely. Just as if I have a blazer that wouldn't fit everyone here, but I can get my own blazer for myself. Why should my software not be different, not be customized? And AI allows for that customization. It allows for enhanced decision making. So all of a sudden, someone in a serious situation, you're a doctor in the operating room, you know as much as you know right here. But if you have an AI assistant who can help you think and help you gather more information and has the power of everything that's ever been put on the internet, you can probably make a better decision. And of course, AI at the end of the day gives us the power to be more human and to move faster. And I'll give you some examples of that later. But that's the promise of AI, is to, in essence, lower the barrier to entry and make things move faster. Not that different from no code, is it? So before we get ahead of ourselves, why am I giving this presentation today? My name is Arun Saigal, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Thunkable. We are a project and a product much loved by our creators, and we are the no-code platform to build native mobile apps. And we've been on the forefront of no-code mobile app development for almost a decade now. As I mentioned, I also have a graduate degree in AI from MIT, and I worked on AI tools previously, which is why I'm so excited to talk about this topic, the power of AI and no-code. Thunkable has over 3.5 million users. 3.5 million users who have built over 10 million apps in 184 countries across the globe since our inception in 2016. That should tell you how impactful no-code is and how impactful no-code mobile app development is specifically. A lot of people think about no-code in so many spaces, but it's incredible the scale just that native no-code mobile app development has taken on. And I wonder always, how many of those 3.5 million people would have been able to build apps if they didn't know how to code? And it's more than numbers and stats. Thunkable is a full development platform. We give you full development capabilities without needing to code. But the cool thing is, if you want to code, you can as well. We go all the way from the simple no code to the relatively complex of code and everything in between. We give you full development capabilities, and we give you drag and drop blocks that actually allow you to create logic. And so one thing that I always point out is that we are no code, we're not no logic. You should have the ability to build the powerful things that code allows you to build while not needing to worry about where your semicolon goes or where your bracket goes. We have extensible integrations, which makes us so powerful because we're not just a sandbox suite. You can plug into any tool that you want, any tool that you use. We have a lot of native integrations, and if you don't want to use the native integrations, we have open APIs that allow us to let you plug in to any software that you want. And we have fully native functions, which means it works offline. It works with your sensors. It works with your hardware. It is a fully native app, not a web wrap, PWA, something like that. And that gives you the actual power of mobile. And finally, and very importantly, it's cross-platform. So we have seamless publishing to Android, iOS, and the web, which means that if you come to Thunkable, you build an app once, it'll go live to the App Store, to the Google Play Store, and to the web. Now, Thunkable, the features, all that's wonderful, but what's really important to us are the creators. Our creators inspire us every day. The stories of Thunkable users who have turned their ideas into successful apps, who have launched businesses, and who have made improved processes or simply made their life easier every day. That's what inspires us. Every one of them has had a challenge, and they figured out a way to solve that challenge. We at Thunkable, we don't call our users customers, we call them creators, because that's what they do. They create, and they are part of a global community of other creators, many of whom are in the audience here today. So as I get through the no-code part and then get to the AI part, why no-code? Why did we build Thunkable? It's because software creation shouldn't be limited to the elite few who have software engineering degrees. As we all know here, and this is a story that all of you know, building your own technology is incredibly empowering. I think a lot of folks here, as I said, know that. How many folks here have built an app of any kind? Okay, how many have built a mobile app? Nice. Very cool. A lot of us have built some kind of app. A few of us have built mobile apps. Hopefully by the end of today, every one of you will have at least built one mobile app. Anyways, it's that idea that technology creation is so empowering, and turning a passive consumer into an active creator, that's what inspires me every day, and that's what led us to start Thunkable. Now, the creation of new technology should be accessible to all. That's maybe an obvious follow-on to the comment that software development shouldn't be limited to the elite few, but it is really important. The way to do that is to make it accessible for all. And we believe that the power to shape our digital future should rest in the hands of as many individuals as possible, not just a privileged few. If you think about the internet, I had a very good fortune. My advisor in college was the guy who made the World Wide Web. You might have heard of him. His name is Tim Berners-Lee. And when he started the World Wide Web, he was a physicist at CERN and said this would be really cool for researchers to share papers. Then the dot-com boom in 2000 happened, and the bust, 2000, 2001. And there's a big New York Times article that says people are turning their backs on the web. The web, it was a good idea, that was cute. Turns out it didn't work. Until we gave the power of web development to the people, we didn't know what the web could do for us. And now if I said, the web is over, we're turning our back on the internet, you'd all laugh me out of the room, because that's such a preposterous statement. We believe that we are still in the very early stages of software creation and software development. We believe that, and especially in mobile development, that until you give power to the masses to build the technology, you're not going to actually see the results. And that's why we built Thunkable in 2016, and that's why this organization and this event is happening here today, because everyone believes in that. So, to begin with, I'd love to go through just a few creators, just a couple creators, and tell you about what they've built. And then we'll see how AI levels them up. So to begin with, I'd love to start with Pumice Israel. And before I talk about this company and the work they're doing, given that they're based where they are, I just want to acknowledge the ongoing situation in the region and express our hope that everyone there is okay and stays safe. If any of you are there, we send our regards and prayers and thoughts. With that, let's talk about Pumice Israel. So Pumice Israel is a major importer of pumice stone in Israel and one of the most prominent drivers of the Israeli construction industry. It's a family-owned and operated company and has been around for many years. Hundreds of thousands of homes in Israel are built using pumice stone, which is the lightest stone in the world. The team at Pumice Israel imports and exports to more than 500 vendors in the region. I always tell our creators, don't come to me with your solutions, come to me with your problem. Let's start with the problem. So what's the problem? Didi Talkerman Angel is the founder and CEO of Pumice Israel, and she wanted to streamline her business and level up operations. Now, as an importer of pumice stone, she needed a way for the sales team to easily show clients what the material was going to save them, why it was worth using pumice stone. Because a lot of folks were used to using another stone. And it's confusing because pumice is actually more expensive per kilo, which is how people measure what they're buying. But turns out, because pumice is so efficient, you actually can buy a lot less. So the price per kilo was actually a bad metric to use. And their sales team would go and they'd scratch out numbers on paper. And the paper numbers were often wrong because it's a complicated process to explain it. They were explaining to me and I didn't quite get it. I was like, can't you just say this is how much it costs times this price? No, it's all complicated and you amortize it over years, et cetera. And so they were basically really struggling to effectively communicate why you should buy Pumice Stone. There had to be a better way, Dee Dee decided, and thus her app was born. And so what did she build? They started by building a native mobile app with a custom calculator that streamlines the sales process. It measures the tons of weight and converts it to cubic meters. That shows the overall savings for the construction project. Because what was more important here was volume, not mass. Building on Thunkable, she found so intuitive that she said, hey, we should do everything here. So they added logistics monitoring for their trucks, moving inventory from warehouses to clients. They added inventory tracking, because once you're moving the inventory, they said, well, we should just track it. Where is the inventory amongst our 3 warehouses? And the admins get a dashboard. We should have material tracking. When it's in transit, when it's coming off of ships, they import their stone from Greece, and so they tracked it. And they've done a bunch of other things, and this has dramatically improved their business. And it was all thanks to the power of no code. One more quick example, very different example, just to give us a few flavors. How many folks here play billiards or pool? Anybody? Wow, a very low playing, some kind of hands, late night maybe. Anyway, I see some smiles there, so I think that's the right call. All right, so I think you might like this next story. Let me introduce you to Bill Light. So Bill Light was created by, at the time, a high school student named Blake Martin. He enjoyed playing pool with his friends late into the night and early morning, but he had a hard time seeing the table and billiard balls as it got dark at night, because, you know, he played in a dark basement in his parents' place. So he decided to add LED lights to the pool table, and Bill Light was born. It's a patent-pending pool table gaming system, and is the first of its kind to combine 21st century technology with a classic game of pool. Features include Call Your Shot, brand new games, a scoreboard, and party modes. And what started with sound activation and light shows evolved into a full-fledged business that included a mobile app, that included LED lights, and so much more. And Blake decided to then go to college. He went to the University of Arizona in the United States, in Arizona, and has turned this into an incredibly successful company. The idea, like I said, turn a pool table into a full party table. But the challenge was that after he added LEDs, he needed this companion app. He had no experience with Bluetooth, limited experience with app development, found Thunkable, and was able to do it quickly, affordably, and easily on the side. With that, I'll maybe turn it over to Blake and see if he can describe for a quick minute what he did.
The product is a patent-pending pool table lighting system. So it's LED lights that you put between the bumper and the table. You control an application on your phone, and there are a bunch of different modes to reach everybody that plays pool. There's sound sensitivity, so it'll bump to the music and the party. There's patterns. There's Call Your Shot, so you can select what pocket you're aiming for. The lights will show you what pocket you're aiming for. You can adjust the style, the color. The Bill Light app started, I would say, like last year with the very basic patterns and the sound sensitivity. And then since then, it's just been like adding something on the pool table side, working on the Thunkable app to match it. I love Thunkable because it's very easy, it's very simple, it's a no-code platform. I love that they don't have to sit there with Java, Python, and try to integrate a bunch of different languages. Thunkable is that bridge between industry expertise and professionalism, and if you want to build an app, this is the easiest and best way to do it.
All right, that's Blake Martin. He's watching somewhere, so give him a round of applause. All right. So if this conference and the first part of my talk hasn't made it abundantly clear, no code removes barriers. No code platforms are eliminating traditional barriers to software development. You don't need to be a coding expert to create powerful software applications anymore. And this not only accelerates development processes, but also opens up a world of opportunities for innovation for every industry. We've seen that no code development gives a freedom to people who don't necessarily have a technical background and removes constraints. Now, in these examples from an established large manufacturing and quarrying company, to a young individual entrepreneur launching his own business, we've seen that they've all been able to level up their businesses using no-code mobile app development. They all did things they couldn't do otherwise, and they moved quickly and in a sustainable way. Because no-code platforms give us a foundation upon which to build. So what do we do with that platform? Add AI to it, and AI will help us move faster. Just as no-code platforms are eliminating traditional barriers to software development, you don't need to be a coding expert to create powerful software applications anymore because of no-code. And now you add in AI to the no-code mobile app development experience, and you can go even further faster. So what does the future look like? We've talked about how no-code platforms are eliminating traditional barriers to software development. And so the next phase, as everyone all over the globe has been talking about, is AI. But the question is, how does AI change this? It is to combine no-code app development with the power of AI. So much I've been hearing, oh, will AI replace everything, and is AI going to take over no-code app development? And for me, the future is the powerful combination of no-code and AI. Now, there are 3 ways that AI is going to impact no-code. You have 3 big pillars there. One is AI within your apps, and AI within mobile apps, specifically in the case of Thunkable. What's cool about that is that's actually been around for a while, and I'll talk through some more of that actually in my talk tomorrow if you guys are here for that. But AI within the app is a really powerful thing that's already existed, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The next, which is the exciting thing, is AI to build your app. So using generative AI to actually spit out the code or the no code to generate and build your app. And finally, a last piece that a lot of folks haven't actually talked much about, which is no code to build your AIs. And people haven't thought too much about it, but that's actually a really exciting combination of no code and AI. So now let me walk through each of these. So on the concept of building no code apps with AI in them, what if you could dynamically generate content based on the user of the device? Provide them real-time feedback and incorporate real environments into your digital user experience. It's cool. Already we see that dynamically generated content is happening. We work with book authors to create choose-your-own adventure apps where systems like ChatGPT take prompts and write stories for children along the way. We work with medical companies that use AI to craft questions for healthcare assessments. So when doctors come in, they have the most targeted assessment that could be completed by a machine, and then they can come in and use the 100 years of medical school they went to actually solve the problems rather than for asking the same rote questions. On the second question, real-time decisions. We now work, like we talked about, Pumice Israel, we work with a number of routers to reroute users in their e-commerce experience and reroute drivers and truckers in their delivery experience in real time and learn from user behavior. So again, in the e-commerce example, you can say, oh, this person is about to abandon cart. Let's give them a discount. Let's give them a pull to make them better, smarter, faster. And lastly, to incorporate the real world into your actual app experience, gaming companies are using outside weather in certain locations to replace the setting in the gameplay so that people in real time are playing a game in the environment they're actually in. So these are a few examples I talked through of what people are doing. Now the question is, how are they doing it? Platforms like Thunkable, we have image and object recognition. So AI-based image recognition that enables you to work with images and videos and no code. How many of you have seen the show Silicon Valley? All right. That feels too real. It feels like my life. I live right in the heart of Silicon Valley. If you've seen the app Hot Dog Not Hot Dog, it's kind of like that, just a lot more advanced. And that's something that's existed for years in platforms like ourselves. Next, chatbots and visual assistants. Many of you are familiar with chatbots and these assistants. And what's so cool is you have chatbots, you have visual assistants, things that can walk you, virtual assistants, bots that can talk to you and help you. These can easily be incorporated into your no-code apps. And it's funny, it's been around for a few years. Maybe 5 years ago, everyone was saying it's the year of the chatbot. And now we're all excited about chatbots again, but those are things that have been inside your app already, and you can already build with platforms like Thunkable. And then lastly, I'll talk about voice recognition. AI-powered text-to-speech, speech-to-text, translation, all of those things that have been around for a while that make your app so powerful and exist within our platform today. And then the things I previously talked about, dynamic user experiences and personalized and tailored journeys throughout apps. All that exist today, you can use on Thunkable, and you can get that, and exist in many platforms today. Now, the fun one. AI to help you build apps. Everybody I've been talking to has said, what's Gen AI going to do? Can we use AI to build your apps? Is that a thing we can do? What's so exciting, and something that we launched today, which I'll show you in a moment, but that many companies are now thinking about and working on, is how can you use AI to integrate it into your process of no-code mobile app building to enhance functionality and user experience and capabilities. Here's how AI can assist in building a no-code app. It's two real ways. One is in the auto-generation of code or of your no-code. And relatedly, the auto-generation of your designs. Right? So AI can assist in automatically generating code snippets or configurations based on your user actions and preferences within the code. That'll obviously save you a bunch of time. We can also generate designs for you, so you can explain, hey, I want a screen that looks like this, and we can give that to you. The other big win, I would say, is conversational AI. So you can actually incorporate natural language processing capabilities into your builders and create faster and more efficiently. And this is, I think, the big promise of generative AI that many of us are working on and working towards. And again, I'll show you some of this in just a second. With all of this AI assistance, no-code app developers can reduce their time in building, lower their development costs, and focus on the creative process rather than the tedious development. Now, if this sounds like what I said early on in why no-code is great, if this is what it sounded like when I said why AI is great, that's because it is no-code AI and no-code plus AI, at the end of the day, just reduce barriers and make us faster. So with that, I'd love to show you just a couple quick demos of things that we launched today and that many folks are working on. The first you'll see here is two different things. One is a demo that we're looking at right now about, hey, I've put a word in here, I put a rose bouquet in, and actually I don't like those words, I want it to be a little better. So I just click on suggest, and we'll use OpenAI's GPT and generate a few different options. You pick the one you like, you click it, and there it is. Another thing people have been looking for is, hey, when I create an image, it's really annoying because I go to Google, I download it, I upload it, I then have to look at the licensing on it. With this, we just say, hey, type in what you want. You want a pink rose bouquet? Cool, we'll generate one for you. You click on it, and boom, now it's in your app. You didn't have to download, upload, whatever, and that is there today. So that's one of the things that we're really excited about, just generating text, images, and content for you in general. And now, what I would consider the arguably even more exciting one. Oh, all of these are surprise slides that are going to come. I don't know where we jump to, but pretend you haven't seen all of those. Bam! All right. This is something that I'm incredibly excited about. So now you've generated your pink bouquet, you've generated your text. And what's happening here? You type in, if you can't read it, let me read it. It says pink and gray login screen, because you realize you want a login screen. And just like that, we auto-generate for you a login screen. So now you have a text box for username, password. You have a login button. And what else do you have? You have your color scheme, you have your designs. But maybe it didn't fit the screen exactly the way you want. So you can go to the no-code platform, and you can tweak the height, you can tweak the width, And now, if you can see, it's full width, and that's what we've done. That is something that we're working on making generally available. The last two things you saw, those are available today. And this that you just saw is going to be available soon to our users. And we're so excited about it because this makes you so much more powerful. Now, instead of figuring out how do I get the text box, and oh, by the way, it put a forgot password field on there in case you forget about one of those, we just spit it out for you. And I think that is one of the really, really exciting examples of what AI and no code can do today. Cool. If you'd like to see actually more of how Thunkable uses embedded AI experiences like this, I have a session tomorrow from 11:15 to noon, which is the Thunkable presentation at the NC Scale stage. So if you want to see much more of our examples, I'll dig into it with you there. But that, I think, shows you really the power of AI and no code. AI helped us generate most of what we needed, and the no code platform helped us tweak it to make it perfect and make it exactly what we wanted. So with that, again, some what ifs. What if you could get AI-assisted design to help you with your no code app development? You just saw what that looks like. What if you could continuously use AI to QA and to help you test your app? That's something that we're doing today, and that's something that is really exciting. Now, if you think about app development, you know, there's, for every dollar that's spent on building an app, it's $7 to $8 to maintain that app. The overhead, the testing, the QA. And if you can use AI to automate a lot of that, A, you're saving the majority of your development costs, and B, you're taking out what I would consider a lot of the tedious work of app development so you can focus your energy on the creative side of app development. And the final question is, what if you could use AI just to spit out your app? You have an idea, and it spits out the whole app for you. Again, what I just showed you was the beginning of that, and I think that's the exciting future of what we're working towards, where you have an idea, you spit it out, we have templates, we have all these different pieces, and you put it all together, and you get a fully robust app that then you use a no-code platform to tweak and make perfect exactly in the way you want. That, to me, is the future of AI and no-code, and that's what we're so excited about and what we are working towards. The third category, if you remember, I talked about three things. One was AI within your apps. One was AI to build your apps. And the last was using no code to build AI. Again, something that we don't talk about as much. Now, building an AI model certainly sounds like a daunting task for someone without technical expertise, but it isn't anymore. No-code platforms like Thunkable are designed to be user-friendly and make it easy for individuals without extensive programming experience to build AI models. If you can drag and drop your way into building an AI component, that's a game changer in my mind. So what's cool, we already have pre-built components. No-code platforms across the board have pre-built AI components and templates for common use cases, such as image recognition, text classification, sentiment analysis, predictive modeling, and more. And users can leverage these components to jumpstart their AI projects and actually build your own AIs. Imagine you have some image recognition. You want to take that image, understand what it is, then use that to ask a question to ChatGPT to get a result. Then take that result and text-to-speech it so it can talk back to you. That's the kind of thing you can do with the no-code tool. And I will actually give you one more video from one of our users who did something just like that. So let me actually talk through this if you can see it, because it's probably, I realize it's probably a little hard to hear before. So this is Nathan Burley. He works at Scientific Support Services out of the UK and is one of the leading UK ISO suppliers and providers of high-quality analytical laboratory instrumentation. So his day job is as a senior field services engineer, which means he sells, installs, and maintains a bunch of equipment for the oil and gas industry. So one day he started talking to his boss about how they could be better, how they could be faster, smarter, cheaper. And he said, hey, no code plus AI plus assisted and augmented reality, that would be cool. What if we could just train our engineers to be way better, faster, and smarter? So he got a RealWear Navigator 500 headset that he was wearing and used it for his day job to explore AI and see what he could do. Now, he created a voice-to-AI app for capturing stuff from the field. So what he did is the app took a voice command, right? So he talks into it. It takes a voice command. Then it captures 5 seconds of audio, because it's just quick commands, converts it to text, feeds the text to OpenAI GPT-3. He's been doing this for a little while, so he was on GPT-3 as a prompt, bounces that to Google's AI community's text-to-speech API, and does speech synthesis. Gets the result of that, and then speaks it back to you. So what happened here? Let's see if I can just see this again. So what happens here is that Nathan was now able to have a conversation with his headset and get direct information from it in the matter of seconds. Nathan told me that he got a customer in Ireland up and running while he was in England in a matter of 3 hours for what would have taken normally 1 week. He said normally he has to go to Ireland. He has to get them set up, come back, remotely control things from where he is. Instead, he sent them a piece of hardware, and now they were able to use that hardware to get real-time feedback, and in 3 hours he got them set up. Now he does all of his repairs remotely. He said he used to have to send his instruments to the United States, and then they need to get repaired, and then you'd have to have a conversation with someone in the UK and come back. And he said, off the bat, it was 125% return on the investment. As in, whatever he put in, he got way more than that back. And he said that was just the beginning, and now he has totally tweaked out their whole processes and turned it into something incredible. That right there is the power and the future of AI and no-code app development, where you have your hardware and you have your real world, and you combine it all to get exactly the use case that you need using things like ChatGPT, using things like your Bluetooth connectivity, using your mobile device, and so much more. And with that, we're coming to the end. I think it's important to note, there's a lot of fear surrounding AI right now. There's all these questions. Will AI replace the human's role in creating things? Will AI replace me? But the biggest advantage I see in the intersection of no code and AI is the fact that it allows humans to accelerate their creativity and ingenuity while letting machines and algorithms do the work for machines. Like I talked about with the doctor got to be the human, spend time with the patient, and let the machines do the rote tasks. AI is not taking over. AI is not taking away the human aspect of everything and making us all robots. AI is making us more human. AI is allowing machines to do the automated tasks so we can do the things that people were designed to do. And I think that's the beauty of AI. So lastly, the question, no code, low code, or AI? People have said, but if you have an AI tool, won't it replace no code? I won't need no code anymore. And as I think I just showed you in that last demo, you use AI to do a lot of the generic things. Generate me a login screen. Everyone knows what a username looks like in a login screen and whatever. And then you use no code to make the perfect app. Because AI is based on things that's been learned before. And what you get to do is use the AI based on best practices, and then you get to be the human in the mix making the incredible solution. So it's not or AI. For me, it's all about no code, low code, and AI. In closing, I'd like to invite each and every one of you to join us on this journey. Whether you're a seasoned developer, a budding entrepreneur, a business owner, a student, someone with a great idea, the future of tech is in your hands. Imagine a world where technology is a force for good and accessible to all. So I'd like to have an invitation for each of you. The invitation is to join us in making a world, and that world a reality. To be a part of this incredible journey of democratizing app development and shaping the landscape, and the digital landscape specifically, for generations to come. With that, I'd love to open it up for a few questions if I can. And with that, I'll have a final closing word at the end.
Thank you. I'm here if ever.
Thank you. Joseph Schiefer from A2J Tech. I was curious about your roadmap for the next year using AI. So you showed a few things here. I was wondering if you could kind of give us a picture of the next year or so, how you incorporate AI.
Absolutely, that's a great question. So the question, if you didn't hear, was roadmap for AI specifically. So here's how we view it. We have a bunch of things on the roadmap. AI-wise, there's basically there's a couple things that we're looking at. One is around how do you use AI to help you within the app. So more advanced features within the app capabilities. As I showed you some things around image recognition, things like that. We've incorporated with ChatGPT, and there's a number of other processes and folks that we're working with around basically making in-app experiences for users really exceptional. The second is AI support, right? So how do you get basically real-time support from AI? How does AI see what your project is and say, okay, you're having a struggle here. This is actually what other folks have done. The joys of being as large as we are, we've seen 10 million apps being built on Thunkable, and we have a pretty good idea of how to build a good app. And so we can actually give you support in how to do that. And then the last piece, which I think is important but less sexy, is around sorry, one other piece. One other piece is what I just showed you around how do you build your app with AI, and that's something that we're working on actively. And then the last is around the support. So you build your app, you need to QA it, you need to launch it to the App Store, you need to write a description. All of that stuff on actually how to get your app from development to the app stores, that's the fourth piece. So those are the four pieces that we're working on this year and are very excited about. Thank you. Any other questions I can answer? If you have another one, I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. In the meantime, I just want to point to Christine here. If you can wave, Christine. She's great, yeah, deserves a big round of applause. If any of you want to meet or talk, please meet with Christine, and she's managing all of my calendar between me and her. She runs all of our partnerships, and so between me and her, we can help coordinate anything. And then, like I said, I'm giving a talk tomorrow on the NC Scale stage at 11:15 a.m., where I'm going to dive into the use cases that we have here. Any other last questions I can answer before we get our quick coffee break?
Thank you, Arun.
My pleasure. So a final word I'll give, and this is a bit unplanned, but I was asked, a few people here happen to know, in a previous life, I was also a freestyle rapper. And I know it's kind of weird and no one believes that. And so someone earlier today was like, hey, you're giving the talk, right? I said, yeah. They said, well, will you rap at your talk? I was like, no, because, I'm giving a keynote. They're like, nah, you got to rap. So with that, here's a 30-second something that hopefully summarizes what we talked about. Listen up, it's about to go down. No Code Summit got turned upside down. Y'all never seen a talk like this. It's like the old stuff, but with the brand new twist. First up, No Code has changed the way we approach app build and turn from work to play. We can drag and drop. We've got building blocks. With AI now, the fun won't stop. From startups to enterprises, all in the game. Revolutionizing development has never been the same. With No Code and AI, we're building things fast, lowering barriers and making it last. We're automating tasks, personalizing recommendations, making workflow smooth, encouraging collaboration, building apps with ease, creativity, unbound, No Code and AI. The future is profound. Your apps will have never worked better than when AI and No Code, they come together. So come by and say hi. We can talk AI. Also, if you've got a Thunkable team, we've got a Thunkable team in France. So if you want to partner or join our team or just take a chance, talk to me. And you can learn more at the Thunkable booth or right on this floor, because No Code Summit, we thunk all the way to the top, and we'll keep getting better. The fun will never stop.
Woo!
Thank you all so much. Appreciate y'all being here. Take care.
That was so fun. That was really cool. Nice, nice, nice. See you in 5 minutes. Have fun.